We will see. It is a metaphorical lifting here as we're, of course, playing Trackmania maps. And we're going to see which maps we're going to be playing. Picks and bans have started. So, Jnic, let's see what they have elected to go for.
Immediate ban here immediate ban on Flip of Faith and Gyroscope. Okay, two maps that, I mean, Flip of Faith, we just saw it. It is very difficult getting the endings, but Gyroscope didn't expect the ban on that one.
Yeah, Solary has banned Gyroscope every time, and now they pick Freestyle, where Pack is a menace. Parkour the answer from Into the Breach. They're probably going to pick their classics, Reps and Agility Dash. They have picked these three maps every single week. Slow down from Solary, no surprise there, but do they go for Slippy? Do they go for Arrow Pipes even? That's a map they favor.
Dash was Pack really good at, right?
Yes,
Arrow Pipes they were also really good at.
Mime and Elcon tend to pick that map. I think they might go Slippy or Arrow Pipes as their comfort choices.
Pipes. Arrow Pipes they did really well on.
Ooh, back and forth. Okay. That's the one we did not expect. Now a lot of Into the Breach style maps that they have to decide on.
I mean, ITB, as you said, Agility Dash is actually pretty good for them. I think they're scared of Arrow Pipes and Slippy Slides, to be fair.
Yeah, Pack on Slippy has had amazing times. So I probably would rather favor them on Agility, but we'll see if they can do it.
They go Slippy, and we have Arrow Pipes coming in as map 7 if we do get to it.
Very, very thematic start, though. Like, Freestyle, Parkour, Slowdown, and Reps. These are maps that I'm now starting to think of as synonymous with these teams, the way they picked them.
Absolutely. Freestyle is going to be an interesting map with the ending of that, just with the wall jumps. We see people fail them almost every single time.
We also know how fast Pack is there. He has the world record. We can take a look at it in the preview here before we get going. Freestyle, a map characterized by those wall rides. If you're just watching Trackmania esports for the first time, every map has an identity part, an obstacle section at the end of the track. And on Freestyle, that is the dirt wall rides that you're about to see.
Yeah, and these wall rides, we want to see the players enter them in 4th gear, and then they hopefully have enough speed to not have to do a full 360, as you saw right here. They just jump from the wall over to the next section. It is way more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, the flick to get up to the next part is only really possible in 4th gear. So we have a speed display in the bottom corner. The green number, that's the gear they're currently in. And you want to see a 4 there for the players when we get to that section. But first, you're going to have to get through the start, and you're going to have to try to keep up with Pack and Carl on it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the ending is important, but just as importantly is the pace that you have throughout the map before it. And we're going to see Carl and Pack, I think, showcase some amazing pace.
Yeah, Pack tends to go for the outside line on the start here. Not every player does it, but on this coming up dirt uphill, Pack, one of the players that do go for this line, and it only really saves against what Elcon did on the inside line just before the next drift. You might be able to gain, yeah, that was 200ths of a second that Pack gained with that line. So already taking a lot of risks for not the greatest reward.
Oh, Elcon.
Making it work. Elcon crashing on the no steering block, missing the angle there, and giving a big opportunity for Solary to take a lot of points in the first round of their map choice.
Here we see all of the players, actually none of them electing to go for that drift that a lot of people land in, especially Grenadi and Masa have done so a lot. But Carl Jr., Pack, and Mime, all three of them within 300ths of a second going into the ending here. We see that 4th gear coming in from Mime, 4th gear coming in from Carl Jr., and 4th gear also coming in from Pack. They're all going to be neck and neck, but Pack will take the lead. Carl Jr. with a small clip, and it's going to be Mime and Pack in the ending. Who's going to take it? Both of them also make a slight mistake there in the ending, but Pack will take home the victory, and Solary get the map or the round win.
Yeah, and Pack 107.4 while clipping that last wall ride. Without that mistake, that's a 107.2 roundabout. So already he's putting up massive pressure. And Into the Breach, they know this. They know that the only way to beat Solary here is if they can match that pace, because there's going to be a round where Carl's up there too with Pack, and all of a sudden, you are in big trouble. You might get aced. So they're going to take
a mistake from Pack.
This is a round where I think they're just going to have to send it all, because now that Pack's out of it, they have a very strong opportunity for first.
Into the Breach need to capitalize on this situation right now. And Carl Jr., he's going to try to see if he can push it to get back up into first place. He is once again really, really close to getting it. Nobody electing to go for that drift line. I guess they just don't think it's worth it maybe, but they are all gonna go for this no slide on the uphill, making sure they get 4th gear before they start drifting again. And now we just have the identity separating Carl Jr. from first.
And the round here is even faster than the previous, but Carl's dropped the gear and he is in trouble for speed. He's gonna have to try to get the flick, but it's gonna be higher than the other players and he's gonna lose time. This is exactly what Into the Breach needed. They can ace this now, but Mime's gonna be slow. It's on Elcon missing, but at least Mime survives. Where is Elcon gonna end up though? Oh, it's in 4th.
It's the pressure. It is so difficult also getting these endings consistently, and he knew this is the last jump that separates my team from getting the ace and then barely getting it.
Acing Carl Jr. in pack has to be a special feeling. Fortunately, not going to get a taste of what it's like right there. There are more opportunities later on in the game. This is a really tough map to survive on against Solary, and they're doing great so far. Only 1 point down in the first 2 rounds, but now that pack is right back up there. They have another tough round. An onslaught awaiting, I think, with his pace. He gets past it beautifully there. The no steering section, and he's already gained a 10.
It's crazy to see that Carl Jr. is kind of far behind comparatively to the other rounds here. He is sneaking up closer and closer, but he didn't get enough, the same amount of air time, so he doesn't have the same speed going into this section, so he will lose a little bit of pace again, but Pac is on such a commanding lead right now, and he's the only thing standing between Into the Breach and another ace.
This is almost 106 pace. Pac clearly on world record pace right now after the first quarter pipe jump. Mime and Elcon both driving beautiful runs, but look at this final time. This is close to Pac's own record in the league, 107.21. Elcon making a mistake, Carl getting past. Another point for Solary there, 5-3 now. Pac clipped that last one out a bit. He could have had 106.
He is driving really fast. If you guys were not aware, the record currently is 107.086. So a 106 would be incredibly fast coming in from Pac.
It definitely would, and he's just showing he can do that almost every round, with the exception of the one he crashed. So Into the Breach, if they ever see him crash, they have to get those opportunities. Unfortunately, the one they had was a draw. But maybe Pac will make another mistake. He's not immortal to them, but you just see them very rarely. So comfortable, and what it really comes down to is just how much Pac's practiced. There are tournaments that he sometimes wins where he has, like, you know, a few hours and a week of practice.
Yeah.
This one he's taken really seriously and refined his skills on all the maps, so much so that he can do this almost on repeat every time. Mime matching him though to the identity. He's right up there, and they both get the gear. Carl missing it, getting passed by Elcon. Into the Breach with an opportunity, but only if Mime passes Pac on the last flip can he do it. Will get close, going lower, jumping higher, and Pac has missed it. It's a win for Into the Breach.
That's an important win as well. Solary jumping up to 6 points, Into the Breach on 5. Actually, this is looking quite close comparatively if you think about this being Solary's map choice.
It is, and you really are starting to see that Into the Breach, they have a shot at taking this.
They do. They absolutely do.
They have not driven point 2, they have not driven point 4, but they've driven more consistently.
And you already know that Alliance, the previous, one of the previous teams we just saw, are watching this very closely, because they're hoping that Into the Breach will be taken down here by Solary so that they can step up into the top 6 position. So this is also an important fight for Alliance at the moment.
And Alliance didn't win so convincingly. Their map win-to-loss ratio is not going to be as perfect as it could have been against Sinners. So if Into the Breach actually win this set again, Solary, let's see if Elcon misses the checkpoint after that ring clip. So now a 1 versus 2. Mime has to hope for a draw here. First place against Carl and Pac, and Carl the closest opponent.
I mean, being ahead of Carl and Pac when they're right behind you and you know you're the only thing that stands between them and an ace is super nerve-wracking. But Carl Jr. made a mistake, and now Mime is alone in the lead. He only needs this last jump, and he does make it.
Yeah, and Carl able to secure 3rd place as he had low speed. Mime 107.26. He is matching Pac here, step by step now. Just as fast and even slightly more consistent. He could carry them to a win here.
I mean, honestly, Into the Breach would have looked impressively dangerous right now if Elcon hadn't made, like, I think 3 mistakes up until now. It is a little unfortunate, but it just goes to show that ITB has great pace when they don't make mistakes.
But I think that really characterized their team because they're taking extensive risks to drive this fast, and I think the idea is that either one of the players survive. Mime also had a mistake earlier, but they're really hoping that at least one of them get through it with a good enough time to match Pack.
Yeah, I think, Pack is definitely the person that you want to match here on this point. Carl Jr. serving a little bit like an assist role, where he wants to make sure he gets second or third consistently on the rounds, and then having Pack get that first place with the low 0.2s, maybe 0.1s.
Yeah, we see that pattern consistently. Carl trying to just make sure there's at least someone present if Pack makes a blunder, but Pack's winning pace has been dominant, and he's going to continue looking for another low 107. Mime consistently up there, but this round looks to go in favor of Pack, although he missed the gear, and suddenly Elcon and Mime are both past. Elcon jumping low, clipping it, but still preserving enough speed to potentially ace Solary here and go up to 9 points. Elcon clipping, still an ace.
That was so close. Elcon almost clipping that last jump again, but he barely makes it. He did have a small clip, but I mean, that's so important for Team ITB.
And they take advantage of the one round where Pack failed. They did exactly what they had to do. This is the final round of the track. Either Solary get an ace and take the map away, or Into the Breach. Any other outcome than an ace for Solary makes them win the map.
Yeah, now Pack and Carl Jr. need to drive impressively fast. They need to showcase that they have the consistency to not only get the first part of the map, but also the identity here, right now.
And Carl can no longer afford to play assist. He has to be another attack damage carry for Solary. They have to both get up there first and second. They can still do it. They've looked the strongest in terms of speed on this map, but Elcon and Mime not making nearly as many mistakes. Here we go into the ending, Into the Breach, first and second, and Solary are in such a tough spot. What are they gonna do?
It has to happen right now. Pack and Carl Jr., they need to push it. Elcon and Mime are in the lead. Everybody keeps the gear. Can Carl Jr. overtake? He overtakes one. Pack is also in the lead. Elcon with a huge mistake, but Mime coming in from the back. It is Carl Jr. or is it Mime? They both are so close to each other. Mime overtakes Carl Jr. and Into the Breach gets the first map win.
Such a tense last round. Carl there barely clipping and getting passed by Mime. Gives Into the Breach the win on Solary's choice. And they can breathe a sigh of relief right now, as they have done something not a lot of teams can do.
Huge victory here for ITB. Very, very important. As we go in and see some replays here, Pack will win the round with a 107.2, showcasing that he has the pace. Unfortunately, they didn't have the consistency to clutch out the win against ITB.
Yeah, but look at, like, that is a dangerous sign for playoffs, right? Because they're a team basically guaranteed into the playoffs no matter what. Teams are going to be scared of that pace.
Then we have ITB fighting back here, the round after. And I mean, this was a really, really great match to watch, but also some huge mistakes coming in from both teams.
Yeah, and Into the Breach perfectly taking advantage of that one round where we saw another mistake from Pack. They got an ace, and they got the win. We're on parkour, and this is Into the Breach's specialty map. I think they first picked it. Every time it's available, they know it inside and out. They know all the lines, and it's the map that they're trying to make into their main weapon against every team they can.
Yeah, and they also have better paces on paper than Solary. So we're going to have to see if Solary have prepared for this, because obviously, as you said, people know that ITB favor this map. So Solary must have put at least a decent amount of practice during this last week here on parkour.
So Into the Breach really have no tricks. They just pick their best maps every week. There's no secrets. Everybody knows their picks. Can Pack and Carl match them on it? They're going into the ending now, up the hill. This is the identity of parkour. Several jumps in a row with some tricky jumps to land. Let's see what Solary can do. They're behind. Mime and Elcon both getting the wobble just right. That might be an ace.
Going for the flip,
and he lands it!
What an amazing flip from Carl Jr. Just sniping Mime, but a 102.144. That is a TMWT record. Not quite the world record, but faster than anybody has driven here in the big leagues.
Yeah, and he beats Gwen's record by 1/100th of a second. Amazing from Elcon. But you can see how much Carl gained in the ending with the flip. There's a lot to still do on this map.
There's room.
Elcon did that without the flip, so that makes it even more impressive. but crazy clutch from Carl to deny an ace there, and that already tells us enough. They have practiced this a lot.
I mean, I love when people clutch out the flip to overtake just in the ending, because it is so exciting to see. Well played by Carl Jr., identifying he has to risk it to get that one extra place, and he clutches it out.
But now we see a different scenario. We see a very close round. They were not as far behind. Mime and Pack both sliding out. Carl versus Elcon up front. No need to go for the flip here, potentially. But maybe Carl finds comfort going for it again. It's Elcon's advantage, and he does get this wobble landing on this platform here. Tilts the car onto the booster. Low airtime. You can see how much speed he excels out of that, and Elcon will take another win. He talked about mistakes in the last map. 2 great rounds here from Elcon.
Oh my God.
101.92 without the flip.
That's a world record, boys. Back-to-back Elcon records. God damn.
That's 2 in a row, and what an incredible time. Amazing from Elcon in his rookie season against 2 previous world champions and the reigning world champion Carl Jr. Not bad at all from the rookie, and so exciting to see what he can do.
Slight technical error by your caster right here in the booth. That is my bad. But we jump right into the next round. Can Elcon maintain this pace? That is incredibly difficult pace to maintain, but showing that he has it is just tremendous. Wow.
Yeah, and there's a reason they pick this every week, right? They might have already had this pace offline, but not being able to put it out in match. But Into the Breach on this, when they shine brighter than all the stars in the universe. Amazing stuff here. Carl in first, but now let's see if they've done their homework. Could one of them land this flip perhaps to catch up, or is the wobble landing going to be enough? They get more speed up this hill already, but there is this one airtime reduction trick that we saw Elcon hit. He has more speed than Carl. He's going for it again. The wobble there, but he clips the landing, and that might get him past by Pack. Mime will secure second. Pack
also with the mistake,
but not quite. It's a draw.
I mean, honestly, there, Solary should have capitalized. Like, they had to capitalize on that. They could have gotten a round victory and equalized the score. But, I mean, it's still 3-4. It is not as bad as it could be. But Solary losing on their map, on their first map pick, and now Into the Breach, on Into the Breach's map, they might lose again. This is looking dangerous for Solary.
And just to explain that wobble, on that one diagonal platform in the Identity, you wanna land not aligned with the platform, a bit tilted, so that the car tilts over the edge. You could land flat, it's safer, way more predictable. It's not gonna ruin your run, but it's gonna make you about 0.2 slower.
He does it 2 times. He also does it right before the Identity. He lands in a wobble to maintain ground contact while driving a little bit faster than you could otherwise. We're gonna see both of the wobbles happen right now. We can take a look at Elcon and see exactly what lines he's going for here. He's going wide, then he jumps on the left side, lands in a little bit of a wobble, pushing down his right wheels so he maintains ground contact. And right over here after this jump right now, he's gonna land another wobble, and will it be another ace here for ITB? It looks like it's possible. Can Pack overtake Elcon in the ending? He cannot, and ITB gets an ace.
And a 1:02.19 from Mime. Elcon's teammate driving just as fast on this, securing the ace for ITV. Parkour is their domain, and they might go up into a 2-0 in maps against Solary.
You already know that G1 is looking at this and thinking, we have a chance. If Solary loses now, we can get second seed today.
And first and second seed are so important for playoffs. If you know the bracket, if you get first or second seed in the regular season, that makes you be 1 game away from the grand finals. If you get 4th through 6th, you have to win 3 matches to get to grand finals. So, a huge advantage.
It is absolutely crucial to maintain that second seed for Solary right now. You know they want it, but I mean, Into the Breach's pace on this, it's very, very difficult to play against.
It is, so we'll see what Pack and Carl can do. They had that flip, and they might be forced to go for it if they don't keep up before the Identity. This round, that's not the case, as Pack passes Elcon, leaving only Mime up there to get past as well for a potential ace right back. But Mime has been so strong in this Identity. Has really not failed it any of the rounds. Pack and Carl going up, not doing that wobble that you mentioned, and you can see them losing speed now. Elcon probably coming back as a consequence. What's gonna happen here? Anyone daring to go for the flip? Mime holding first. Elcon looking at it, but decides against it. Are they gonna pass him? Whoa! Mime keeps it ahead and keeps the draw for Into the Breach, but only by 200ths.
That was a great push there from Solary, but not quite able to get that first place. And Into the Breach looking dangerous with those 8 points.
And the times they're driving are so good. Like 108.5 from Solary would beat just about any other team, except for Into the Breach on parkour. Into the Breach and perhaps G1. The rest would fall like flies.
Absolutely. Like, this is incredible pace that we're seeing. Oh, yeah, from both teams, but especially ITB showcasing their dominance on their map of choice.
Like, what's a 101.92?
Yeah.
What is that? That is absurd from Elcon earlier. And now, though, that might be all in vain. If they just make some small mistakes and get aced, that could be all for naught, as Solary, they have a great round here. But we know Into the Breach tends to be faster in the identity, and also the bobsleigh. Look at the speed here from Mime.
Great.
Catching up a little bit, but hits the wall. He's out of it. Elcon in a 1 versus 2. And he has the flip still to go. Is this going to be Elcon's big match, his big moment against the two titans of Trackmania Esports? Elcon now looking at it, but decides against it. Just goes for a safe jump, hoping that Solary might have failed, but they will stay strong. An ace in return, 8-7.
Absolutely important for Team Solary, but I think what happened right there for Elcon is he lands in that wobble you were talking about, but because he wants to jump to the right before he hits with the right wheels on the wobble again, if he doesn't, he gets pushed to the left and can't actually go for the risky barrel roll. So a very, very miniature slight difference in line forces him to not be able to risk.
I think he was thinking about it and then just thought the chance of this flip failing is so much higher now because of the landing you mentioned. So 8-7 Into the Breach. They can drive the fastest times in the world, but at this point, 2 mistakes and they are out of it. Solary could ace them.
Solary has showcased that they're able to ace and able to clutch out the ending, which is the most important part. If you are in front, you need to still get the ending without a single mistake, and they can do that. But right now, that was incredibly close to a huge mistake coming in from Carl Jr.
And also from Elcon. They are really pushing this round. Pack up front. We are going to see Into the Breach, I think, extend out of this bobsleigh. Carl getting it so well together with Mime. The 2 big gainers in that part, but now the identity. Elcon getting a lower jump than Carl. Climbing up into 3rd place as we see Mime and Pack side by side for first. How is this going to shake up? We have the wobble now and a better opportunity for Elcon. So close to getting that 1st place away from Pack.
Oh my god!
And it's a draw. 5 thousandths of a second in favor of Pack and 600ths of a second in favor of Mime, and we go to another round here.
What a great round that was. So close. Was it 5 thousandths of a second?
Yes.
You said? I mean, that is just incredible, and so important for Pack to get that lead.
Had that been the opposite way, Into the Breach would have won the map. It was 5 thousandths to clutch another round and another chance for Solary, but they have to be flawless right now. Any point gained for Into the Breach would be a loss, but they can still get a normal victory. We'll see if they can do just that. But high tension right now. All players feeling the pressure, trying to avoid mistakes the best they can. See a little bit of an advantage for Solary as they pass up Mime. Mime 0.2 behind, but less speed for Pack into that bobsleigh. Missing the approach now. All on Carl. What's he going to do alone? He needs his teammate to score 2 points. And if Into the Breach recognize this, they can just get a draw. That would be enough. Get passed by Carl. It does not matter if they just survive these jumps. Carl's going to try his best to get what he can. Elcon into the
Elcon with a huge mistake.
Carl there?
Carl with a huge mistake. Pack with a mistake there. That's gonna be Into the Breach getting the points.
I think, I dare say, the best match we've seen on parkour yet. So many great rounds from the players. Such good times. Solary and Into the Breach. What a joy to watch this one. And Into the Breach get out of it with another win against Solary. They're up 2 maps.
Two maps against Solary right now is pretty crazy. And, I mean, this is looking really good for ITB. We're going to be jumping into the next map, which is, of course, Solary's map pick once again. So we're going to have to see if Solary can come back now.
It is slow down, and it is one of the scariest maps to face Solary on. But first, some replays of that map. We had Elcon with the new world record, and Carl with a flip, going for that beautiful low trajectory.
Well, that wasn't the world record. This is the world record right now.
The previous one was the world record too. He got 2 back-to-back. but an amazing 101.92, I believe it was. That's going to stand for a while.
That is going to stand for a while, unless somebody gets the clutch with the barrel roll on pace for it as well, which in theory you could, you know, cut 0.2 off.
Yeah, 0.2, 0.3, make it a 0.6. Who knows? We're on slowdown, and just like parkour was into the breacher's domain, this really is Solary's domain. Carl and Pack, they consistently drive 56.7, 0.8, and Pack also has one of the fastest times on the map and driven in a live match, 56.484, the current league record.
And I mean, this is just a map that is so favored for Solary with just pace. This is just pace all the way through the map. So we're going to have to see. I mean, once again, I think ITB knew this map was going to get picked by Solary, so they must also have put in a lot of work in the last week to get the pace themselves.
They have for sure, and they're keeping up right now in the first round, actually ahead of the two Solary players, but let's see how they handle the identity, the obstacles here. Carl and Pack both going for the tree line in between the two trees, whereas Alcon and Mime are going wide. Alcon, the only player to try to make something happen here, but the first round is an ace for Solary, both 0.6 and 0.7, and this is where most teams struggle.
I mean, that is great pace. It is about 0.1, 0.1.5 away from their PBs, but still crazy well played. Those times are gonna get them first and second most of the rounds.
And the scary thing is how consistently they can deliver these records, because the map doesn't have that many really weird obstacles. It's just racing lines.
It's just pace.
Carl and Pack have together probably put 25,000 hours in this game, if not more. And they are so comfortable going close to the walls and getting consistent, just naturally good racing lines.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the case on almost every single turn here. You can go higher up in the bobsleigh, push for a little bit more exit speed. Elcon actually also going for the wiggle, if you saw that.
These checkpoints are insane, Jnic. The pace Alcon's currently on is some of the fastest we've ever seen, and you gotta be scared about what this final time is gonna be, because Carl in second is currently on world record pace, and I fear for what Alcon had currently before the identity. Great splits. Can he hold it?
Oh.
No, he will miss. Carl inherits first, and Pack's right there up in second. Pack, though, missing
and Carl!
And Carl! And they get sniped by Mime, who gets a 0.8. Can you imagine what Elcon's pace was there early in the round?
I mean, that would have
Mime,
been...
who was fourth, drove a 0.8.
I mean, that's the thing, right? That was...
There is something
I don't know what to say, dude.
Going on.
It's just incredible how fast they're driving, and this is what we said before. The pace keeps increasing week after week.
Yeah, no, sometimes the numbers you see on the checkpoints, if you've watched a couple of matches, you recognize what they should be. What they were there is definitely not what they should be. Under 36 seconds on one of the checkpoints coming up later is a incredible place from Alcon. He had a 0.91.
0.91 on the upcoming checkpoint right here.
No, the one after the tight drift, and we'll see. This one looks like it's going to be 36 low. That's still amazing. But Alcon inside line. What's the split? This is one to pay attention to. 36.2 this time, so Alcon was 3/10 out of that. We have an amazing round still, though. Carl and Pack looking for another ace. Only Alcon there in the mix. Mime just a 10th behind, but that's a lot on slowdown as it's just pure racing lines. He goes in between the trees, missing a little bit of speed there. Solary extending their lead, but a crash. And can Mime snipe the end? Oh, he tried with such an inside ending, but Carl holds on. It's a draw.
That's an important clutch there from Carl Jr. as well, being able to maintain by 5,000ths of a second, maintaining the lead, making sure it's just a draw. But Solary and ITB, both teams have incredible pace on this map at the moment.
I think as a spectator, we're just happy for every draw because it means we get the most possible rounds out of these two squads. We get to witness some of the greatest driving we've seen yet in the league. Pack with a rare mistake there in the start. Now let's see what Carl can do on his own. We have noticed that he has tried to play this supportive role because of how consistently fast Pack is. He doesn't really need to be up there and attack together with him. But now that he's on his own, he has to. But he makes a mistake on that inside drift, and that leaves into the breach a golden opportunity to get an ace.
I mean, this is looking very scary for Solary right now. What is happening into the breach on the top two positions, quite far ahead? Pack and Carl Jr., they're going to try to push it here in the ending. Can they overtake Elcon? Elcon has more exit speed, and that's going to be an ace for ITV. He gets a little bit of airtime. I did see that. But that's
Could
an
have
ace for
gone
ITB.
wrong, but it goes their way. 56.589 from Mime. A tenth of a second off of the world record in what was a safe ending, I believe. So Mime, great pace from him too. We now go into the next round. They're over halfway to that point total. They want to get 10 points to win the map, of course.
Do you think, I mean, is it possible that we see a 3-0 from ITB going into the final map, which would be their own map pick?
It would be Agility Dash, I believe,
Yeah.
the choice that they had for map 6. So possibly, I mean, they're in the lead right now, but I'll come with a slow start. And with Mime being pressured by 2 previous world champions, you don't know what could happen in the end, but he's holding his own. He's gaining a temp there, though Pack coming back with more speed in that dirt uphill. Now making the gap just about nothing before the ending. Beautiful tech slide. Just think about how close they're going in every single corner and how consistently they do it. In between the trees. Last slide. Can Pack gain anything or will Mime hold? Pack is faster, but he goes low and he still gets that win. 56.58 from Pack.
Crucial snipe from Pack, equalizing the score 7-7.
What a game.
It is a great game right now, and either team could close out this map by getting an ace, and I mean, this is getting very, very close.
The standard on this map used to be that if you get under 57, you're gonna win the round. Now, if you get 56.7, you're gonna get 4th. That's where this match is at right now. You have to drive so close to the world record, and all of them know it. They're just pushing. They're full sending every single round, and it's a treat to watch. Pack setting up wider here. Looks like he's losing time, but comes back with more speed.
Oh, yeah, he gets more speed.
And he has a great start to this round. Ahead of Mime by about 500, and Carl is there with him. Solary right now could look to extend. Mime with a mistake. Elcon has to deny an ace at least, or they would lose the map on the spot. But a win for Solary would do them so well as well. Can Elcon hold this? He has to stay ahead of Pack, and we know Pack's one of the fastest players in this identity. Elcon going around the tree, setting up wide for more speed. Is this going to be enough to clutch another round for them? No. Solary take their own map in dominant Solary fashion, but into the breach, the closest team we've seen to contend them.
I mean, that was an incredible match, and I mean, that could have gone to ITB, honestly. This map could have gone to ITB, and they could have had 3 map wins, but yeah, Solary came back with an ace there in the ending, and well played by both teams, honestly.
Incredible gameplay by both teams. It was probably one mistake, make or break, and that one ace that Solary got in the start of the match that gave them such a good lead. 3 points to nothing is a hard scoreline to come back from.
Yeah, and we have the ace to begin the match, and also, they started with an ace and ended with an ace. It's lovely to see.
They did indeed, and Mime somehow winning the round in 4th. That pace, I want to just know what the theoretical best could have been from a 35.91, because my god, is that fast. Like, it's such a treat to see new record splits as well, not just new records.
True, but now we're gonna jump into reps the second time we see this map today as well. And I mean, this is ITB's map pick, so I mean, we're gonna see if they can extend the lead up to 3 maps to 1.
Yeah, and again, this is one map that they almost pick on autopilot. Every single match that they can pick this, they will pick it at some point, and they really favor playing it. They've played a total of 22 rounds on it so far.
Yeah, that's a lot of games. So what's their median?
Their median pace, Jnic, is right around 107 flat, and their personal records in the 106.5s is where we see them. And Solary as well. We have not seen too much from them on this, but their records also in the low 10 or high 106 rather, but
yeah, so mid 106 is what we want to see on like average pace throughout the match here, and Pack is looking to get that first round right now, but ITB right behind them. Oh, and Pack makes a mistake. Also, Mime making a mistake. Elcon taking that first place, Carl Jr. taking second, and almost every single time we see this identity, somebody fails the first or the second jump.
It is such an explosion of cars going left, right, up in the air, and Elcon just rocketing straight to the finish. 106.58, a great time, and I think
Carl Jr.
we will have a pause coming through as Carl's asked for it before the round starts. Tends to be the rule then that the round is called, so gonna see if we can get that fixed.
Maybe Carl Jr. also jumping in with a restart on his PC. We had that last map as well. It can happen, but at least it is nice to see that it is possible to stop the match, just pause the match for a minute if there's any sort of technical difficulties.
Indeed. I mean, you don't want to, with how close these rounds are, any small technical issue you have, you should call it.
Oh, absolutely.
You shouldn't let that decide it, because they're playing at the highest level we've seen, and you don't want any small thing to be deciding it other than the skill of the players.
But the thing about this is that if ITB wins today, they are looking solid to be in the top 6.
They're getting a bigger gap to Berlin International Gaming, who's down in 7th, together with Sinners in 8th.
Yep.
And they're also actually then probably passing Alliance, so they're in 5th.
Well, they won't be. They will just be. They will just remain ahead of Alliance. But they also, the last match they have, which is next week, is against Sinners, a team that has 0-6 score at the moment, 0 wins, 6 defeats, and I think they might be able to take them as well next week. So if ITB wins today, that puts them in a very, very solid spot to get into the playoffs.
It does indeed. I think they, and they've shown like up so strong reps. It's a map they could take. They were close in that first round, but they will have to try to fight Solary on their third choice, which, if memory serves me right, was back and forth. Which, of course, Pack has the world record on. Pack driving very strong on the next map coming up. And then the 6th from Into the Breach was Slippy Slides? I think
yes, that was the odd one out. And then finally we have Arrow Pipes. That was the randomly chosen one.
So, a very interesting set. Definitely can see some of the next maps going to Solary, but this is a hard-fought one.
Yes, and Carl Jr. jumped back into the game now, so it is only, seconds from now that we're back into the game. But right now, Into the Breach have showed incredible gameplay. So I did not expect them to get that first map win. And the second one on their own map, fair enough, but like 2 to 3 at the moment, when they're the worst seed is just... Not the worst compared to Solary, who's 2nd seed. ITB currently on 5th.
Yeah, it's such a fun team to watch too, Into the Breach, with Elcon the rookie driving world records against Carl and Pack. That was a big talking point going into this. How does he handle the pressure? Answer is he does beautifully with even faster records than them, probably leaving them surprised.
I think the first map we did see Elcon make quite a few mistakes there. And I think that he just had to shake off the pressure. He had to get used to playing against these players. And once he got used to it on the second map, driving world records, fair enough. You're in your zone again. I
think just looking at the current prediction going on as well, currently a lot of believers probably shaking a bit watching this, as 84% of the channel points bet on this game went to Solary. And only 60% Into the Breach. So there's a couple of believers out there sweating a little bit. As we get back into the game, let's see if Into the Breach can hold on to this lead they've got on the first 2 maps. Solary fought back on the 3rd. Now we're on the 4th. It's Into the Breach's reps. And the first round was a draw. Let's get right back into it.
Let us get right back into it. Indeed, Elcon in the lead, but all the players executing the start perfectly. Elcon actually touching the outside wall, and then he's not going to make the subsequent jump, so he's going to be far behind, I think. No, he actually did make the jump. So just a slight caress there on the side of the turn, but I mean, he still loses about 0.3 of a second, which is crucial here on a map like Reps.
Yeah, so important that he did make that downhill drop, as some players haven't, and they end up in backflips and all kinds of weird stuff. He's able to have a somewhat clean round on his hands, and if one of the Solary players fail the ending, that's an opportunity for him to get past Mime. Keeping up with Pack's great pace here. They're close to the world record start. But now we'll see what they can do in the ending. The first jump of the identity onto this curved platform. Both players get it. And then the important one onto the beam. Pack having to slow down. Mime going full speed, not showing any signs of slowing down. And almost a new world record and an ace as well. Into the Breach. Great on their own choice. Only 200s away from that world record from Mudda and Binks.
But it is a personal best from Mime, at least 500s faster than he's driven before. So already showcasing that he has practiced the map either offline or somewhere else, showing that he has the potential to drive world record pace.
He does. 4-1 now. They're putting Solary under a lot of pressure. Pressure we only saw BDS get close to in their game.
No.
Big crash from Carl. No, sorry, Pack, rather, on that checkpoint. Carl's still alive in the fight, but far behind Mime already. And if he keeps up that pace from previous round, it's going to be so hard to deny losing further ground.
Yeah, Mime got a really good drift onto the second set of beams, and if he can do that again, it's going to be incredibly difficult.
This is so fast, Jnic. This is faster than last round by about a tenth of a second.
We're going to have to see if he can actually get the world record. Right now, Mime on pace to get it. Carl Jr. is going to try to deny, but it's going to be incredibly difficult. He's going to hope for Mime to do some sort of mistake here in the ending. Will it happen? The first jump goes down. The drift is working. Mime, will he make it happen? A slightly slower ending, but Mime with the world record.
And Carl failed the risky finish, so guess what? Alcon comes through with the snipe, and it's another ace. 7-1 for ITV.
I mean, this is a strong showing, but also just want to showcase, or not showcase, but highlight that both Elcon and Mime, 2 out of 2 players on ITB have driven world records today.
Amazing stuff from them. They're keeping our streak of world records going, but they're doing it against the team that probably had the most world records from Pack, you know, on all the maps. Suddenly, it looks like Into the Breach are the fastest team in the league. And can they keep it up? Can they get 3 more points packed into the wall again in the start? Now both Into the Breach players are ahead of Carl, though. This is looking so scary for them.
I mean, right now, they could close it out with an ace. Carl Jr. needs to overtake at least one more person to extend the game by 1 more round. But Mime and Elcon, they are not looking to get that to happen. Carl Jr. needs to push it here in the ending. He's about 0.1 behind. Is he going to be able to do it as we head down to the final downhill before the identity? Is anybody going to make any mistakes, or is it going to be ITB taking map 4? Carl Jr. overtaking 1. Can he overtake another? He's up on first place, but Pack is too far behind. It is going to be a... No, Pack actually overtakes for 3rd. Solary gets the win, but ITB jumping up to 8 points. Solary still has a lot of work ahead of them.
Oh, this is a long road to drive down for Solary, but they are such veteran Trackmania players. Both Carl and Pack have been at the competitive stage for almost 10 years. 10 years for Carl and about 8 years for Pack, so they know matches are not over until they're over, and there's still a lot to play for here, but they're gonna have to drive fast pace, and they both missed the gear in that uphill drift. That's the difference maker. For 0.2 of a second into the 3rd checkpoint here, Into the Breach are looking so strong on reps, and they still have to fight and try to get past at least 2 of them now, as they can't afford another loss.
Pack needs to overtake both of them. Now, luckily, the identity has taken out the Into the Breach players a couple of times, so they can hope that that will happen, but they cannot rely on it, so Pack just has to push it. He has to see if he can overtake both of them right now. He's gonna full risk the ending. Is it going to pay off, or is it gonna be ITB that gets this map win? It does look like it. Both of them almost make the ending, but Elcon gets 1st and Mime gets 3rd, and that's gonna be the map victory for ITB.
Such a strong day today for Into the Breach. This is the team that we were all hoping to see them turn out to be. So refined now, so consistent. World records, you love to see it from a new squad. And they're currently leading by 2 maps against Solary, the team everyone predicted to be the next world champions.
I mean, and that's the thing. And the great thing about, well, let's quickly just look at the replays. But the great thing about doing this against Solary is that you immediately jump up on everybody's list, right? Everybody just all of a sudden will put you higher in the tier set.
And it started out so strong. Elcon driving a 106.5 in round 1, really setting the tone and the expectations as Into the Breach got that round strongly. And then after that, they were able to continue their dominating pace streak with a new world record. Looks like the replay has bugged out a little bit. We were just watching it through the point of view of a certain old pro player, perhaps.
Well, I don't know. PowerPoint? What are we talking about?
Well, a PowerPoint at about 40 to 80% speed, it looked like.
Oh my gosh.
But now we're going to look at cars going back and forth. It's map 5 chosen by Solary. This one, a bit of a surprise for us, as we thought, you know, this is not really their forte. It's not really raw pace, but Pack still one of the fastest players on here, and you can tell by the text in the top left, if that is up to date. We have a world record on this map from Pack. 57.76 the time. But again, look at this. Alcon and Mime are beating them, and Alcon is on pace for a 57 in round 1. And Carl is the closest player from Solary to try to defend here.
But Mime and Carl Jr., they're now fighting. Carl Jr. is really trying to see if he can deny. Going so tight, driving over multiple of the corners.
Oh, that's a good end.
Going closer and closer to Alcon. Can he overtake in the ending? Or is it going to be an ace for Into the Breach? It is going to be an ace for Into the Breach on the first round. 3-0. That is, I mean, this is getting closer and closer to ITB taking it home.
You can't get closer. They tied to the 1000th, and Mime won that round because he was ahead at the final checkpoint. That's the decider in every tie, but really, they drove the exact same time there. But advantage Mime due to the checkpoint rule. So, tough start for Solary on their own choice. Into the Breach are continuing their momentum, and they're about to take down Solary in just 5 maps here, something that no team has managed. But this round is looking dire for them as Mime has made a mistake, Alcon getting overtaken, and now Solary might answer right back.
Well, Alcon needs to push it in the ending now. He needs to do exactly what Carl Jr. did a second ago and go for these inside tight lines over the corners of the map, which will easily make your car clip. But he needs to push it right now. Look at these tight lines, trying to push it. Pack and Carl Jr. actually extending their lead, but Pack making a mistake. So crucial there for Into the Breach, making sure that they don't get aced right back.
And I think they're only going to get a draw.
They're going to get a draw. Oh,
one
even
crash
better
there
for him.
Causing, you know, they keep the exact same lead, whereas they could have tied up the scoreline. That's not good for Solary, but if they pick this, they trust their pace, they think they can still do it. Pack has these 57s in him. He just needs to get back to comfort pace and really just dish them out here. So the more rounds they play, I think the more comfortable Pack will get again, and the faster we'll see him go.
Yeah, Pack, it does have crazy great pace on this map. He's also an advocate for holding the 4th gear, it looks like, all the way throughout the start. We see a couple of different ways to do that, and Pack elects to go for 4th gear in the entirety of the start here. Great turnaround, but Mime is now pushing to see if he can overtake here in the ending. Almost a mistake from Pack there. He had to slow down to make sure he didn't clip that corner, and now it's gonna be Pack and Mime in the ending.
Little bit more speed from Mime, got more of that booster, so that's going to extend, but he also has a harder line to drive, has to take more risks with the approaches, set up early, gets through the pillars, Pack on an inside approach, trying his best, but a little bit too far. Mime with the first 57 of this heat, getting a 9-9-8 and a draw for his team.
But you're right, that's the first 57, which also just goes to show what crazy pace Mutta has on this map. He drove consistent 57s, even 57-8, I think, at one point. So definitely showcasing that Mutta has incredible pace here, but not to take away from ITB and Solary. We already have the first mistake of the round, Alcon clipping the inside corner, and now Mime is tasked with staying ahead of both Solary players.
Mime has a lot of momentum now. He did this last round where Alcon was half a second behind the start, and he's going to try to do it again. Pack dropping down a little bit. Carl getting closer to Mime, though. Getting a good 360 there, but still Mime with a great setup to full speed this corner and preserve that lead. And this is quite fast already. This is another 57 for Mime on pace if he gets a good ending. So really tough spot for Solary. They're going to send at least one player to try to stop him here. But unless Mime stumbles in these pillars, it's not going to be the case. What's the final time from Mime here, though? Is he going to approach the world record? Gets close.
Oh, that is great.
5 to 600s away, but not enough to beat it. Still, enough to secure that draw.
Absolutely amazing pace here coming in from Mime as well. And, I mean, ITB, they're not... since the first round, they've been 3 points ahead, and they're not minimizing their lead. They're getting closer and closer to getting the whole match victory right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
Mime.
That's tough, and now it's all on Alcon. Mime's defended 2 rounds like that. Can Alcon get this one? Solary are putting on a lot of pressure as Alcon and Mime have made the most mistakes thus far, but we'll see what Alcon can do. Their personal best pace has gone up tremendously into the breach on this. Before this match, their personal records were both in the 58.1s, and Mime's already crushed that. See if Elcon can do the same.
Oh, that is a nice 360 there coming in from Elcon. Might even push it at closer and closer to Pack. He's still gonna be quite far behind, about 2 car lengths going into the identity. So, oh, but Pack makes a mistake, and now Elcon is gonna be in the lead. Will he be able to make this a draw once again? Going super wide. I think he got a slowdown right there, and now Pack and Carl Jr. are trying to see if they can ace it out. Elcon with a tighter line. Will he maintain the lead? He will, but it's gonna be a round victory for Solary, a very important one of that.
Still though, Elcon with a great ending there. He was like 2-3 tenths behind Pack, fought really viciously and got back up to speed 5-7, and they have not let this lead up at any point, but they're so close to letting it fall apart. So many mistakes that could almost end their match here, but they're keeping it going.
It's crazy how, like, Mime and Elcon, they're kind of going back and forth on mistakes at the moment. Last round, it was Mime. This time, Elcon make a small mistake. And the thing is, they both have pace to get first and second places. It's just that when one player does well, the other has a small mistake in the bag. Other than the first round where they, of course, got first and second. But they need to both have the consistency at the same round. Mime overtaken for first.
They're really covering for each other and keeping the team level, but right now it's Mime's turn. Elcon with a mistake. This time he has to try to fend off Solary. He gets a good landing. That's going to give him a lot of speed, but they're right there. Any small error now, and it will be Solary all the way. Pack trying on an inside line, and he's going to take at least 2 points off, and into the breach get 1.
Yeah, but ITB, they are now on 8 points. Solary could close it out with an ace, though, as well. But, I mean, this is getting really, really close. ITB, they just need a victory now.
Yeah, it's match point. That means we're done. If Into the Breach gets a regular win, so Pack and Carl, they have to avoid mistakes. We talked about Into the Breach's mistakes, but think about this. Any big crash now for Solary, and it could be game over, lights out, and Into the Breach would get a win against one of the top teams. See now what Pack and Carl elect to do.
Pack.
That's the type of stuff that could be decisive. Elcon and Mime, you said they had the pace to win. This time they've not made mistakes in the start. Is this going to be their big round?
It could very well be Elcon and Carl Jr. fighting him for first. Carl Jr. needs to get that first place to give him one more round. But Elcon really wants this as well. They're going to be neck and neck. Mime actually fighting with Pack here for fourth as well. But it's going to be so close. Elcon and Carl Jr. they're neck and neck in the lead. Who's going to get the final left-hander here in the uphill? Elcon trying to push it, but Carl Jr. is a little bit ahead. And it's gonna be the round victory for Solary. It's gonna be 9-9.
9-9. It's so close. They had an opportunity there, but Solary not done yet. And we are in a draw, 9-9. So any win now for a team, any decisive round, it's game over. Or in Solary's case, we go to the next map. Let's take stock of the start here. Very close. All players going for a low line. You want to set up wide on the left side. Get a good bug slide through here, and we've seen many players do this across the snow if possible on the left, like Carl did, to get a better approach for this nose slide. Carl and Mime extending ahead. Elcon getting past Pack, who has a slower jump into the ice, and out of the start, it is Into the Breach with clearly the best situation. Carl right now fighting for a draw.
It is once again Carl Jr. that needs to get this first place to give his team the draw, but Mime is right there next to him, and Elcon also pushing it. Right now, Carl Jr. is in a sandwich between ITB players here. Carl Jr. is pushing it. It is going to be Mime or Carl Jr.
Oh,
he has the pace, but Solary is pushing it as well.
It's a draw.
It's going to be another draw. We're going to 10-10. Oh my god.
These rounds are incredible. Just 500s. Every player on a 58 low, 58.2 between all four. Amazing stuff. Overtime is present. So now, sudden death, any win again will be decisive.
No. And now Mime has to get first. And this is such a huge section for Solary. They're going to see this immediately. They're going to call it out. They're like, Elcon made a mistake. Pack. I mean, this is what I'm assuming they're saying. Pack, go full send. Try to see if you can overtake Mime. I will maintain the lead against Elcon. And if they do that, they will get the map victory.
But Mime is the fastest player from Into the Breach on this map. He drove a 57.8 earlier. He can do it, and he does thrive under pressure, Mime. He loves situations like this where he can show what he's made of, but Pack, so strong of a start here. 2 tenths out of Mime. And if this result remains, then Solary will take their own map. Can Mime find anything in the ending? He has to get 0.2 against Pack, who has the world record on this map, and he's driving world record pace right now. Pack into the side around, goes a bit wide, but that's going to be enough. And Solary, with a new world record in overtime, takes map 5. They're not done yet.
I mean, that is an incredible performance by Pack under such pressure and driving a world record. 3 out of the 4 players in this match have driven world records in this match.
It is just incredible to watch, and I'm so glad it's not over yet and we get to watch these teams compete more. What a game we have on our hands. Now on to Slippy Slides. This is picked by Into the Breach, and it's an interesting pick indeed because Carl and Pack have looked really good on this map.
First, we see a few replays here. ITB with the ace here in the first round. Very important. They held this 3-point lead for quite a while.
They did, and it was so many times back and forth. Looks like we're just jumping into the live action. We do not want to miss out on this. We can have some more replays after the game. But Slippy Slides, let's talk a little bit about this map. Solary has favored this map in many of their games. The world record right now, again, is by Pack, a 1:11:10. But Mime has a 1:11:13.
Yeah,
so
they're very
300
close.
slower.
They're very close to each other, but not only does Pack have the world record, he also has like the clear advantage in median pace. Like he's driving very consistently on this map.
Pack's median 1:11.8, so far above everyone else who has 1:12 lows. But every stat is just a predictor. It does not mean it's going to happen. You still have to drive clean in the rounds live right as they happen. Elcon and Carl with the best starts before the midsection here. This map characterized by the bug slides, the first one coming up after this corner, where they're going to drop down, land on a reactor booster, and bug slide to the right, cancel that into a small ice slide, and then straighten out. Before the ending, this round is in favor of Solary, and they're again, Jnic, dare I say, driving world record pace. The 2 Solary players going for their approach now in the 3 bug slides in the ending here. Mime going for an inside approach. Gonna get less speed than Carl and Pack, but it is gonna be enough to pass Carl for now. The last turn is gonna take it away. He's gonna snipe it. Pack holds on with a 0.420, blazing up into the reach in the first round, getting a draw.
Placing it into the finish there so fast with that 0.420. And now we see, I mean, that was a draw. It was a great start, but unfortunately, Carl Jr. did not get the ending he was looking for. And Pack did carry the team there to at least a draw. Very important stuff.
And I mean, that time already beats Elcon and Carl's, or it's just about Elcon and Carl's best time. So they have a tough match here. Mime and Pack, the clear carries on pace, and Pack wins that first duel for first. And he has to win this second one as Elcon has made a mistake in the start.
Elcon already with the early mistake, and Mime has been told this, so he needs to see if he can maintain this first place against Carl Jr. and Pack, but both of them have incredible pace on this map, and Mime does as well. We saw also different lines coming in the both the box slides right now.
Nasty good split from Mime right now. This is again world record pace in the 6th map. We've had 3 world records so far. Pack crashing, Mime staying ahead of Carl. This also gives an opportunity to Elcon to perhaps come back and overtake Pack. We'll see how that turns out. They're very close on the splits. Carl setting up wide. Mime again with that inside approach, going just for less speed, whereas Carl has respawn.
No!
This is a big opportunity for Into the Breach. Mime gets first. Where is Elcon? Looks like 3rd, and that's going to be a win for them. They get 1 more point than Solary this round.
I mean, that is important. Every point matters at this section of the match here. ITB, every single point that they get above Solary puts them closer and closer to get the match, and they want to close it out ASAP, because once Solary also equalizes in maps and it's 3-3, then all of a sudden it gets way more pressure on ITB. They want to close it out right now on this map.
And the last map, if it goes to that, is Arrow Pipes. It is a map that Solary has first picked in the past.
Yep.
So you gotta be a bit afraid if you can't end it here, going on to one of Solary's strong maps. But Slippy Slides is also one of their strong maps, so let's not take anything for granted here. Solary with a good start. 2 tenths ahead of both Into the Breach players. Elcon setting up wide here. Gonna try to get a lot of speed and a wide approach into this dirt. Wants to get early to the next corner, and he's gonna get a bit closer, but Mime falling further behind, and now Elcon has a really tough job ahead of him.
Yeah, he needs to gain 0.2 here in the final box slides. This was the
he's
first
losing
one.
further time.
Yeah.
They're so fast.
I mean, this is gonna be very
ridiculous
difficult.
pace from Carl.
Oh,
Watch out, Pack
Pack.
hits the corner a bit. That's okay.
Oh, and he has the full respawn because he gets the acceleration penalty and doesn't get the boost from the red boosters. Now Carl Jr. needs to not make a mistake. If he makes a mistake in the ending, it could be an ace.
Well, an 11.5. He saved the ending. I think he recognized it.
He absolutely saved the ending, but that was an unfortunate mistake from Pack. If you guys did not know, there is a hidden feature in the game. Well, not a hidden one, but if you hit a wall or anything, you get an acceleration penalty, and the game will not accelerate your car that much, even if you drive over red boosters. And that's what happened. He had this penalty buff on his car as he drove over the boosters, and the boosters just don't work at that point.
Yeah, lasts for about 2 seconds after you crash a wall, or in that case, the corner of the hole. So very unfortunate. That does make it another draw though, and into the breach. They get out of that round in a lucky equalized situation.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit PayPal if you take a look at it. Pack once again in the back here, but Mime and Elcon driving really fast right now. They're gonna see if they can get this ace down in their hands.
I swear we're gonna see a new world record on this. They're just driving faster and faster starts. It's a treat to behold. Carl with an amazing bug slide, ice slide combo to get back up to first place. And now let's see whose approach is the best, who's done their homework the cleanest. We have Carl going wide, and we have Mime going for that tight line together with Elcon, though he had to respawn. Elcon close. Elcon with a better approach for this last one. Sharper slide, but Carl's on the inside. 6,000s in favor of Carl to secure a win for Solary, and that makes us dead even 5-5.
Those that equalized the situation here, but I mean there is kind of more pressure on Solary at this point because ITB getting this map win would give them the match. On the other hand though, arrow pipes coming up after this if Solary wins sounds so scary for ITB.
And that is a new league record, a personal record from both Carl and Elcon, who were slower on this map. They're not much slower than Pack and Mime anymore. I can hardly speak here with the excitement that I'm feeling watching this game. Elcon with a mistake this round, getting a slowdown in the start. That means opportunity for Solary, with Pack getting a good water turn there. Having to let off the acceleration though, didn't trust it fully. And that's going to let Mime get back up into that fight for first.
But Pack showcasing some really clean lines right now. Mime also has some great ones, but Pack maintaining the lead anyway. Now final couple of bug slides here. Mime trying to pressure, getting more speed into this one. He will overtake for first, but they are shoulder to shoulder right now. Mime going for the inside line once again. Pack setting up a lot wider.
That's an ultra
but he
wide
has
line.
so much more speed. Is he going to be able to push it? Final bug slide into the finish. Is it going to be Mime or Pack? Mime with the inside line is taking it home with a 0.19.
That is a crazy time from Pack. Mime getting second there with a 0.28, 0.30. Roundabouts, that's insane. You would win most rounds with that.
In the league, it is only Pack and Mime that have a 0.1 in general out of all the players.
Yeah, and I mean, Grenadier has a 0.25, but apart from that, every other player you would beat. So we are witnessing just star gameplay here. 6-6 though, another draw. And this is becoming a war of attrition. Who has the most endurance? Who has the strongest willpower and the best focus to be able to drive so many clean rounds in a row without messing up big time? That's what you gotta focus on, because the more rounds that go, the more exhausted you're gonna get. You are really pushing everything you have, and it becomes so much more important if you ever make a mistake.
Yeah, but once again, Pack is in the lead, Mime right behind. It is a story that keeps getting told here. The two players that are incredibly fast here on this map, but Carl Jr. also going for such a great line there on the bug slide into the ice slide as well. But we're gonna have to see it here in the ending. We see Elcon making a huge mistake. Pack with the wide setup. Yeah, two very, very different approaches, but it seems to work out for Pack. He gets a little bit closer. Oh, what was that?
Bounces out. He was on world record pace. Carl gets second. Who's gonna get that third? It's gonna be Elcon. Elcon secures a win here. 4 into the breach. That's gonna put them at 8-7 and a match point once again. One regular victory will get them there. And again, amazing time from Mime.
Let us hear it in the chat for the team you are cheering for. This could potentially be the final round here. Solary against ITB. Will Solary be able to put it to map 7, or is ITB going to be taking it home?
And it's one of the most mistake-heavy maps, this one. It is giving Into the Breach a lot of hope if they see Carl or Pack make a mistake, because surviving that identity cleanly every time, it's no easy thing to do. So let's see what Pack and Carl can do. They're at least holding their own in the start, not losing too much. But once again, Pack, amazing pace out of the opening drifts. Faster than ever. He got a world record in the clutch round last time, and now he's looking to do something similar, it seems. This has lit a spark, and Pack is just extending against the red players, but Carl falling further behind. 0.3 now to his teammate.
I mean, this is getting closer and closer. It is so hard to call anything out just yet. Carl Jr. trying to go for the inside bug slide line to overtake just a bit, but he loses the momentum going out of it, and that is also a gear loss. He's going to be far behind. Can Pack maintain the lead? He is so far ahead, though. What a great time coming in from Pack. Mime and Elcon, they're still pushing. They're looking to get the equalizer, looking to draw it out, but Pack will maintain the lead. Elcon and Mime coming in right behind Pack with 111.2. Still a very fast time.
He again had checkpoints to crush the world record. That was 110 pace with a risky end, but he recognized the spot.
Yeah,
he saw it was half
ahead.
a second ahead and did not do anything risky there. Keeping Solary alive, 8 to 9 though, and this is a very important round. Solary, they have to win. At least win, and if they ace, they close out the map, but a win would put us to overtime.
A win would put us to overtime for Solary. Anything else, well, an ace would also make Solary a win, but anything else would give ITB the victory. So definitely, so far, ITB is in the favorable spot, but against Solary, you can never feel safe.
You cannot, and especially when Carl Jr. makes a mistake in that up and downhill, gets too much airtime. 0.3 behind Mime right now. If the positions remain, if even Pack gets past Mime, that's not enough. Carl has to pass one player too to give Solary another chance at this. This could be the game. If the positions remain as they are right now, Into the Breach would take down Solary. They have another opportunity at this, just like on back and forth, but this is where Solary, they shine. They fight so viciously all the way till the end. Currently, Pack has passed Mime for first, just about there in that fight, but can Elcon hold third? The bug slides commence now. No mistakes need to be had from Into the Breach if they are to close this out. The first one goes their way. They go wide. Where is Carl? Can he pass at least one? Pack will just take first. Pack might get first, but it's not going to be Carl in third. And Into the Breach win. They take down Solary.
Into the Breach takes down Solary. What a huge upset. Absolutely amazing performance here from Mime and Elcon.
The rookie team with Elcon in his first season, Mime getting some juicy revenge after that World Cup final, and all out, these players played fantastic. Some of the fastest pace we've seen on all of the maps, consistency, everything, that was just amazing.